This guy is an example of being taken off a team's top line, and his production doesn't completely disappear, but it's not the same as it was. So today we're going to be talking about the curious case of the very talented Beaudin. Now, Norm Beaudin, born November 28, 1941 in Montmartre, Saskatchewan, was probably one of the most underrated players in WHA history. He didn't have a massive career in the NHL. He was undrafted, but he came to major prominence, of course, by playing with one of the most important junior teams of the West, the Midwest and Canada, Regina Pats. He played the majority of his career in junior with the Pats when he played in two Memorial Cups, in 61 with the Pats and 62 as a member of the Edmonton Oil Kings. Now, when we look at his stats, with Regina, put up some really outstanding numbers. First season with Regina in 1960, 57 points in 58 games, 61, 80 points in 60 contests. Now, 62, he also played the WHL with Spokane. 63, found himself with the Hull Ottawa Canadiens of the EPHL. Then moved on to the Indianapolis Capitals and the Cincinnati Wings of the CPHL in 64, as well as the Pittsburgh Hornets. Now, 65, he split time with the Hornets and the Memphis Wings. 66 with the Hornets again, 58 points in 70 games. 67 with the Memphis Wings, he had 76 points in 65 games, but then moved on to the St. Louis system in 68, where he had his first taste of NHL action with 2 points in 13 games and 22 goals in 59 games in Kansas City. But we were seeing a trend here, ladies and gentlemen. 69, 70, 71, he played with Buffalo and the Cleveland Barons of the AHL, 32, 37, and 27 goals. Moved up to Minnesota in 71 for 12 games with 1 assist. Now, 73's last year with the Barons, he put up 66 points in 75 games. Now, there was no way probably he was going to get another chance at the NHL. But this is where the clouds parted, ladies and gentlemen. And he became an all-star at WHA because of this. Now, he was claimed in a waiver draft by the Red Wings, but Bobby Hull, Gordie Howe, all the crossover WHA players remembered him as a very quality player. Now, his rights were traded to the North Stars when he played in that 71 season for 12 games. Now, Winnipeg, when they formed the WHA team, looked to him as a possibility of playing on Hull's line for the Jets. He was the first player signed by the Jets, and again, he played with Bobby Hull and Christian Bordelot in the Jets' inaugural season. And get this, he had the best pro season by far, as all three members on the line scored over 100 points. He had 38 goals and 65 assists for 103 points. Ladies and gentlemen, what can be considered his rookie season after being mired literally over almost 15 years in the minors, give or take. Now, he was also named to play in the WHA's first All-Star game in 73. Now, he led the WHA playoffs in scoring that year with 13 goals and 15 assists. However, the favorite Jets lost to New England in the league finals, highlighted by a very rough series against Minnesota, where Beaudin had 7 points in a playoff game against the Fighting Saints, which is ranks as one of the highest totals of any major league playoff contests in hockey history. Now, Beaudin's production dropped sharply in the next season, and in 74, he and Bordelot were replaced as Hull's line mates by Swedish stars Anders Hedberg and Ulf Nielsen, which became the perennial Jets line of that franchise. Now, after the Jets' AFCO World Cup championship in 76, he then signed with Swiss team SC Lugano, for whom he played for 2 seasons before retirement. Now, he finished his NHL career with 252 points in 309 games, including 97 goals, and had 37 points in 31 playoff games. And again, he had a goal and 2 assists in 25 NHL games. Now, with Winnipeg, consecutive seasons, 38, 27, 16, and 16 goals, 103, 55, 47 points, 47 points, and again, the Avco Cup win of course, in 76. Now, all I can say is that the broken record is this. Players like him that had skill that couldn't break an NHL lineup or even the expansion 12 got a chance with the WHA, but organizers of the Jets saw something in this guy. But it's like this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at the rough stats. Okay? 63, he had 19 pro goals, then he had 25, then he had 45, then he had 29, 39, 22, 32, 37, and 27, and 33. He could always score, but he was mired in the what do you call? He was a 23rd player on teams with 21 players on the roster. He couldn't break in, and he could score, ladies and gentlemen. He wasn't scared to put the puck in the net. But I mean, his time in the WHA, to score close to 500 pro goals in your career is an amazing feat. And Norm has respect amongst us in the media because to play with Bobby Hull and one of the Bordelos, you got to be good, and he was good. But like I said, we've been talking about 1, 2, 3-year wonders in the WHA. He fits it perfectly. And for me, again, one of the most underrated players in WHA history. Thanks for listening. Bye.